The Apprentice made him $450 million? No shot. There is no way that's true. How many seasons did that show run for? Even at 15 seasons, there's no way. No shot. That show is ridiculously popular? Yeah, but like, that would just be an absurd amount of money to make for acting. Well, let's see. How much money has Judge Judy made? I think she's like the most well-paid TV person, I think, in all of history, I think. So she has an estimated net worth of $480 million. I think she's the most paid person, maybe in all of entertainment ever. What is like Robert Downey Jr.'s net worth? 300 million. Highest paid actors of all time. Who's going to be number one? It's got to be like, people are saying The Rock. I don't know if The Rock has been in enough movies like that have been that. I wonder, is Leo up there? It's got to be like Marvel people. Let's check. Okay, we've got Keanu Reeves, Bruce Willis. That's true. Bruce Willis at his height. Ooh, this guy was crushing it. Tom Cruise, Will Smith makes sense. Okay. Oh, and these are also for a single production. God damn. $30 million. Per movie. Or was this for both movies? Even if it was for both, $15 million. $14 million for The Sixth Sense? Holy shit. Oh, salary for an individual movie. Captain America Civil War. $40 million for Robert Downey Jr. God damn. They filmed those at the same time? Oh, okay. Johnny Depp got $35 million for this dog shit fuck movie? I don't even think I watched this. Is this the one with Davy Jones or is this a different one? This movie grossed $1 billion? Okay, well, fuck me, I guess. Jesus. Stranger Tides was fine? I don't think you understand. Here's the issue, okay? Here's the issue, okay? You plebeian fucks, all right? I don't even know who the director was for the first Pirates movie. No. Gore Verbinski. Who the fuck? Who knows? The thing is that this movie was flawless kino. This movie was so fucking good, okay? That the next two Pirates movies were like, okay. Like, they weren't bad, I guess. But the thing is that this first movie was like perfect, okay? This was the Lord of the Rings in one movie for Pirates movies, okay? This was such a good movie. The other, I think like I watched the Davy Jones one. They're not like bad. They're like okay. They're fine. Maybe even like better than average. But this movie was every scene. Fuck. We watched that one guy do a huge, like a 45-minute review of it. He goes over basically everything. Because it's true. Because almost every single scene in this movie, and I notice this shit now in everything, okay? I blame the studio setup, okay? When people do things, it's that Napoleon movie mind fucked me so hard for how horrible it was too, okay? Look, you hear the dissonance in the soundtrack, those two, that must be a major second, right? I don't know what I don't know the quote is, but look at all the payoffs that we get in this too, right? Look at all the different payoffs that we have just in this 3.5 minute thing, okay? Because they go from having no ship to a ship that they can't man to now the fastest ship that can escape the bay, right? We had these guys who were the captains of their ship to being in the little binocular, whatever bullshit things coming forward, and now they're getting right. And then people see this, and then you have like the Davy Jones. I mean, all the other pirate movies the other two are okay, and then whatever. This movie is just so good. This is I don't even know who this director is. I don't know if he did anything else in his entire life. But this movie, it's just a perfect movie. God, it's such a good movie. Fuck, it's a Kino. Amazing fucking movie. Anyway. Can you talk about that movie review you talked about a few minutes ago? Who joined?
Hold on. I arrived late. Do you not like the spectacle in Pirates 3?
What is that, the Davy Jones one, or is that the different one?
2 and 3 are the Davy Jones one. The 3 is the one where there's in 2 they set up the idea that like Jack is trapped in like his, I don't know, underwater cage or whatever, and then they set up like the heart, and 3 is like the big come together where like all the pirates get together. There's a big armada fight, and there's a giant lady that's a bit cringe. But there's a really, I don't know what the word is, I want to say campy spectacle of like this marriage during like the middle of the pirate fight and whatnot. And I think it's like
I'm gonna be honest,
fantastic fun. Yeah.
It might have been. I don't remember either of these two. Now I don't know if I ever actually even watched these. I think I must have. It's the one. Which one has like the Orlando Bloom's character's like dad comes back and he gambles with the game with the one weird tentacle dude.
That's
right?
2, I think.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
They're so forgettable. I don't know. They were probably okay.
Sure, they're not. Listen, you're never gonna get someone to disagree with you unless they're actually clinically insane. That number 1 is incredible. You cannot top number 1. But 2 and 3 still have some magic there. It's just not quite. I don't know what you call it. Polished. It's a little bit messier, but if you like camp and if you like spectacle, and I want to say even like romance, not in the sense of like falling in love and whatever.
I
but
guess,
just
but like you had the camp and the romance and all of that in the first one.
You definitely did. Yeah, you
definitely did.
Yeah, you did for sure. Number 1's fucking incredible. It has all the fucking merits of being a fantastic movie, polished in a solid like amount of time. Right, but with 2 and 3, there's still something there if you enjoy. And you know what? I'll tell you this: if you like choreography for action, 2 and 3 have just as much as number 1, if not more ambitious. I don't want to say better, but more ambitious choreography.
I don't remember. Was there a better one in terms of storytelling, in terms of synchronizing with the music, in terms of cleverness and creativity,
number
in terms
2,
of it better than this one, Jack versus Will, when they do this fight here? Really?
That's tough, but here's the thing. And you know what? I'll give you homework if you got the time. If you can rewatch these movies, fine. I know you're fucking busy, but if not, watch number 2. There's a scene where Will. Oh my God! Yes, the more I'm remembering about it, yes, the more I think it rivals this. I don't know if it's better, but it definitely rivals it just as much. Number 2 has a scene with the water wheel. There's a lackey of Davy Jones that's trying to steal the heart with it. Oh no, it's so good because Jack is even doing. Like,
okay, you know what? Tonight, I will rewatch Pirates 2. Okay, just for you, and I'll come back tomorrow. Okay.
Well, but again, focus on like the choreography and the storytelling that's happening with who.
Yes, I can watch. I'll watch the movie. Yeah, I will. Okay.
Listen, I have a love for it, and then come back to me and let's have this. Because man, it's so great. It's so fantastic. 3 is only worth for the wedding scene at the end because it's very cheesy, romantic. You get into the feeling of it as like, oh fuck. If I just loose myself up and watch this, it's fantastic. But 2, I think, if you're looking for choreography and storytelling, that was good.
It's better romance than 1. When the girl turns, because and even the mean Commodore guy has like, doesn't he have a little redemptive moment where they ask him something about, and he's like, oh fine, she can go be with him or whatever. Am I making this up?
It's not better romance than 1, okay? But it's still, you can still lose yourself in it and genuinely like enjoy with it. It almost feels like you are. I've never been to Disneyland, but I'm assuming that's the feeling that they try to capture when you go into like into Disney Pirates of the Caribbean or whatever, like that third movie, that final spectacle. But again, it's not better than 1. You have it, okay?
Okay.
The only action scene that rivals 1 with Will and Jack on the workshop, whatever.
He throws the sword in the first fight with Jack to keep him from leaving, and then he throws it to save him in the end here. That's such a cute. When they're working together, and then he does the.
On our return to Port Royal, I granted you clemency.
Oh my God! Hold on, hold up. Hold up. Yes? Oh my God. They could be brothers, right? Johnny Depp fucking nails it in this fucking movie. He's so good. He does so much nonverbal acting so well, like the little smiles, the smirks, the...
If all
It's
I have
so
achieved
good.
here is that the hangman will earn 2 pairs of boots instead of 1, so be it. At least my conscience will be clear.
They all do? They all do. Everybody here, every main... Actually, even the side, everybody... Actually, everybody does a great job in this movie. The main bad pirate guy, when he dies at the end...
Marines.
This is such a good movie.
Truly.
He's Legolas? No, this guy, you fucking asshole. This dude. Who? This guy must be on this. And then he goes to his ship. Because Barbossa's dead, and he's got it back. My goodness. Oh, somebody wanted Pirates of the Caribbean review. What was the... There's a review of this movie that's like... Is it this?
The first Pirates of the Caribbean movie is one of the best action-adventure
Women in London must...
because, you know, she's a monster mermaid lady. The mermaids were monsters. They kill people. Why wouldn't she
Was
just
it
be a
this?
pirate? But it's pretty fun later when Elizabeth
don't
recognizes
remember.
him, so... It's out the pirates from longboats, where Jack comes up with a plan to go in and lure out the pirates so the Navy can...
I think this might be it. Here, yeah. This guy does a good review. It's just a great movie. This is just a... I'm sorry, it's like a perfect movie. It's such a... God, it's such a great movie. Okay, anyway. God damn it. I shouldn't have watched that. I clicked to the thing and I saw the guy go in the water. And now I'm just wondering. Now I'm just trying to remember. Why did Jon Snow run from Daenerys when she was going to fly him away? Why did he run away to go and kill like 3 war or zombie things? Why did he do that? Also, how did he get out of the water how did he get out of this water when he was getting dragged down? How is he not dead? How is he not freezing to death here? How did he even get out of this? How did he get back? I don't even remember. What the fuck happened? Oh, I do remember. Oh, it got blocked out. Oh, God. Oh, I feel it coming back. Oh, the memory. It's where the guy shows up. Benjen or whatever, right? I don't have time. And the horse can only carry 1 person. Oh, God. How the fuck is he alive? What was the point of him falling into that? How many seasons has it been since we've seen Benjen? Wasn't he like referenced in season 1? How is the sword helping him out? Oh, my friend. My friend, you don't realize how important the swords are. The sword is incredibly important because it's a Valyrian steel, meaning that it can be used to kill a White Walker. How else would you set up the epic fight at the end of this show between Jon Snow, okay, Azor, the fire, whatever the fuck bullshit, and the final White Walker king, okay? If not to show that Valyrian steel swords can do battle with White Walkers, okay? Obviously, that's why he has to keep that sword. It's so important. Azor Ahai or whatever the fuck? Yeah. Why is he the only guy in the show that they give this fucking weapon to? Is there any point even to having like a like this thing on fire? Like if you were to hit somebody that quickly with a thing on fire, is it even going to burn them? Would they even? They're not going to catch on fire. What was the point of that? Wow, good job. You killed 2 and then you died. Retard. God, this whole ending part was so contrived and stupid. They could have done it other ways to make it not so dumb. You're telling me that the White Walker dude could throw a spear in midair and track and hit this fucking drag? Why couldn't he just throw one more at fucking John? Well, he threw one at that dude. Jesus. Okay, stop. Okay. My face when Destiny realizes fire arrows in movies are just for cinema mostly. It might be I don't remember, but I think, I don't know if fire swinging anything works, because doesn't the fire just go out? I don't know if you had fire arrows in real life. Like, even if you soaked a rag with oil and shot it, I don't know if the flame would stay on when it's going through the air. I'm not sure. I remember reading for Game of Thrones, I think they had to 2x speed all of the scenes with the fire sword guy fighting, because when he would swing at like even full speed for an actor, the flame kept going out, but I don't know, maybe. It works with certain types of oils. Actually, yeah, I guess, because the Olympic dude shot an arrow over the one thing, right? And that stayed lit the whole time, so. They lit the Olympic flame with a fire. I don't think they technically lit the flame. I think that he just shoots the arrow over, and then they push a button to light the flame, but close enough. Why did the blackfish die off screen? Why did they do that? Why did they do that? What was the point? Why? Oh no, wait. No, wait, who's this guy? Wait, I thought he was the blackfish. Wait, fuck, wait. What was this guy's name? No, it is... Oh, yeah, he misses because he sucks. He is a blackfish. Oh, okay, it's just him shooting the arrow. Okay. Rate the audio? 10 out of 10. Dumbass. Why did Jon Snow go back to the Night's Watch if they killed the Night King? What was the point of him even being a Targaryen? True. Why? Oh, wait, here's a question. And this must have a good answer because it happened in season 1. Why was Jon Snow originally ever sent to the Night's Watch? Why did Ned send him there? I don't remember them ever giving a reason. I'm sure he had one. Was it to keep him out of trouble in case he found out who he really was? Or he went on his own, he wanted to? I thought, wasn't there a scene later on where he's talking to Tyrion? I think when Tyrion goes to visit him, and Jon Snow is complaining, and he's saying, Ned knew that this place was fucked the whole time, and nobody ever told me. Why didn't anybody tell me? That makes it sound like it wasn't his choice, or at the very least, it sounds like other people could have stopped it, but nobody said anything. Like he had no idea what he was going to sign up for. He thought it was some crazy noble. He didn't realize, because he's autistic, that people were like talking out of the side of their mouth and like making memes about the Night's Watch being so heroic and brave.
Yeah, no, he chose to do it because he felt that he was never accepted by Catelyn Stark, Ned Stark's wife.
Oh, because she hated him.
Correct. Yeah.
What a bitch.
She was kind of bitchy.
Well, no, hold on. Her husband cheated on her and brought his son back. It's fair for her to be ass mad about that.
But he didn't cheat on her. That's the thing. Remember,
she doesn't know that.
No, yeah, he actually gaslit her.
Yeah,
he gaslit
even worse.
Her. He didn't cheat on her. He just gaslit her.
Yeah.
Why are you going down a Game of Thrones deep dive?
We just do a little bit of lick clinking. Damn,
Have
bro,
you watched House of the
Harris. No, thank God, no. Thank God, no, because it ended up sucking. I was right to quit after episode 2. Fuck you guys.
It's not bad. I mean, it's no Game of Thrones seasons 1 through 4, but it's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah. You were saying something about Harris?
Yeah. These rallies are pretty
fucking awesome, aren't they, man? 20,000 people in Arizona. He's freaking out. He's in full-blown panic mode. Like, she's beating him in swing states. She's beating him in the national poll. She's kicking his ass fundraising-wise. He's getting shit from Tim Pool, Patrick Bet-David, Joe Rogan. It's not going great, and I love it. Like, I'm happy for the first time in months.
Okay, he did do that rally in Montana, though. Very important.
He did have that. He did have that rally in Montana. And the thing is, just totally unnecessary. I mean, he's almost certainly going to sweep Montana. Somebody said that, or I read somewhere that it's like a political revenge tour, but I wasn't able to do any deep dive. I don't know if he's like.
I watched a video last night over it, and then I replayed it for stream, but I walked away. Something about he hates one of the dudes involved, so he went to help a local official run for his election or something, and.
Yeah. So the thing is, though, at what point do they come to terms with the idea that he's an idiot? So, what's interesting to me is the people who are criticizing him now. So you have Poole and Patrick Bet-David, and there's a guy called Eric Erickson, who's a quasi-Trump Republican radio host. He's still trying to be as neo-conservative as possible. But when they criticize Trump, it's always what are these advisors telling him? Who's getting into the Trump war? How about it's just Trump being Trump? I don't think anybody in the Trump camp is telling him to pick a fight with Joe Rogan. I think he's just doing it himself.
I mean, you've got nobody's giving him advice to do that. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Where's that 4chan green text about Trump? It's just that. And it's also the it's also that Nick Fuentes clip. Hold on.
Yeah, Fuentes went off. Yeah, and Laura Loomer. Do you know who Laura Loomer is?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, so she had this whole lengthy Twitter thing where she's he's gonna lose if he doesn't get his shit together.
God damn it! I'm not gonna find it. Where is the one? It's 4 lines long, and it's fuck bros. Maybe he was just a retard the whole time. I'm not gonna be able to find it. But
yeah, I don't think did even Fuentes come out and say that. I know Fuentes says he supports Trump, but he's I thought he was picking a fight with Trump's consultants. He's also blaming Trump's advisors instead of Trump.
Sure. I mean, the gripers are unhappy for, I think, a separate reason. But I was referring to, there's a really funny Fuentes. It was a 30 or 40 second thing. I think it was 6 months ago. He might have been ironic when he was saying it, but all of it was true. But it was something where he was there is no, people didn't die from the vax. There is no whatever. This didn't happen. Hunter Biden didn't get caught. Nothing is happening or whatever. Fuck, does anybody know the clip I'm talking about? Please, somebody find me this fucking clip. I just referenced 2 things that I can't source, and I feel like a loser.
No, I had no idea that he said shit like that. I don't even know what the relationship is between them anymore. I thought somebody said that he was
I don't know if they ever had a relationship. Kanye. I think that Fuentes, there's a lot of meme rumor shit that goes around, but it's possible that Fuentes literally got snuck into that dinner by Milo, and he was never really supposed to be there.
I see that. I see the meme thing.
Oh yeah, this was it. Yeah, I don't remember what this was in response to, but yeah. Fuck, hold on. Was it this clip? Hold on. I'm sending you something else.
Sure.
Or wait, actually. Oh no, I can't do that. Yeah, okay, wait. It might have been this.
The vaccinated have not mass died off yet. Israel has not been destroyed. CERN has not opened a portal to hell. Russia's not taken over Ukraine. There is no nuclear war. Hillary Clinton is alive. What the fuck?
Oh no. I think for the gripers, I think for a big part of Nick, is at his heart. How old is Fuentes? Is he 26 or 27?
I have no idea. I don't even know what does Groyper mean, by the way. Like, I am so new to this.
That's a
like,
Nick Fuentes
is it an
fan.
acronym? Yeah, but is it in like an acronym, or is there like what's the genesis?
I have no
of
idea
the
what it
words?
comes from. I just know.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 25. At his heart, Nick is a young man, like an older boy. He's grown up. He's a young man. He really likes Kanye West. Groypers and the America First movement, they started primarily, I think, as like a meme movement, right? It was like counterculture, like heavily meme driven. They've got like a huge subculture. They're very active in their forum and on their Telegram and in their Twitter groups. And they've got like a whole like community. Like Fuentes is like comparable to me as a streamer, I think, in terms of like how active and engaged this community is. So I think with this in mind, they want to feel like they're hip and cool and at like the front of like the culture movement, the culture wars. And as stupid as it is, I think watching Trump get hit and then kind of become unpopular and like seem a little bit cringe, I think for some groups of people, that's honestly the biggest fear that you have, is that your guy is no longer based in awesome, but cringe and gay. And I think that for Fuentes' movement, I think when they start to see Trump being like kind of cringe, it like hurts a lot, and then they create distance. That's just the feeling that I have. But I think that plays into their thought process quite a bit.
Well, it is interesting how people like engage in revisionist history about Trump's popularity. Piers Morgan does it all the time to your face, by the way, when you're on these panels where he talks about, Trump's popularity. Trump has never been popular. He's lost the popular vote to every Democratic challenger who's ever faced him. And even when he was president, he never cracked 50% in approval. Like that's the thing. To me, I think it's so important to hammer this home, because when we were in wherever we were earlier this year doing the deep canvassing stuff where you were there, I can't remember if it was Ohio or Wisconsin or wherever it was, but the conservative girl there, Lauren, she is of the opinion, or she was at the time, she told Adam Mockler and said it to my face, and I was just stunned. I'm like, she thinks Donald Trump is the most popular president in American history, more popular than Barack Obama and other people too. And it's like, no, he never was. Like, Biden, as unpopular as he is now, like for the first 6 or 7 months of his presidency, had a 50+% approval rating. It was just about the time of the Afghanistan withdrawal that he started to go under. Like, Trump has never been popular, and he's capped. I still think he can win this election, maybe because of
maybe just popular within the conservative party, because I think within Republicans,
yes, yeah. Now that, I mean, now there's no question there, because they'll gladly forsake all their principles and policy positions for whatever he happens to feel that day. But I heard your conversation with Hutch yesterday, or maybe it was the day before, but I'm not quite as optimistic as that. I still think that Trump can win this election.
That's definitely true. 1 trillion %. There's no way that you would ever say that Trump is 100% lost. But the path they're on right now is 100% lost. That something has to change, and there are plenty of things that could change, but something has to change. I'm curious where that'll come from. I feel like right now they're looking for something external. But another problem too is now the thing that sucks is, like, externally, I think that Kamala is a bit more insulated from what happens because she's not Biden, right? So if the economy has issues, they can't really attack her on the Afghanistan thing as well as maybe they could for Biden. There's not much that they can go off of. And I don't even know if she would they're trying to do the border thing, but I don't know how convincing that.
Yeah. So what's interesting is I saw a poll, I think it was CNBC that had it today, that Kamala, right now, Harris has erased Trump's lead on the economy with younger voters. And that's the one area, I think even more than immigration, where Republicans have enjoyed just a colossal polling advantage for like 30 years, right? They're always seen as handling the economy better. And I don't know what it is. I think some of it is because she's a cipher. Like you said, she's part of the Biden administration, so she can simultaneously do whenever she wants situationally. She can say, this is the Biden-Harris administration. I can also claim credit or take credit for all the cool shit that Biden did. But then if she wants to separate herself from him, she can do that too. What's interesting is how she'll be able to do that with Gaza, right, or Israel, because that's not an area that I follow particularly closely, but she's been heckled, like in the last 2 speeches that she gave, even in the Arizona one yesterday. And her response to it yesterday was actually so well received that she was getting kudos. I don't know if Hassan gave her kudos, but I think Vosh did, and Mehdi Hassan and a bunch of others, like, yeah, okay, this is how you respond, where she was like, we got to call for a ceasefire, but basically shut the fuck up. She said it very politely, like, yep, we're going to call for a ceasefire. We're definitely going to do shit, but I got to get back onto my stump speech. And so I think for her to have responded well enough to, I don't want to say silence her more leftist critics, but to like satisfy them in the moment, I think that's a really good sign. I think that, I don't know, the momentum is stunning. I am kind of surprised because some people say that this is like Obama 2008 energy, and I was 17 years old at the time and wasn't paying too close attention to politics. Is that how it feels for you? Do you feel like Obama levels of energy from this, or do you think that's an exaggeration?
It's hard for me to say because back then I was feeling that energy, but it was for Ron Paul, so I was a Ron Paulinite, all right? I was a libertarian stand back then, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, they say the crowds and the energy, but I can't really speak to that, but I'm more optimistic than I was. Getting back to Game of Thrones, I asked you this before, and you didn't have a strong position on it, but I am curious. All right. Let's pretend at the end of Season 4, Tyrion does not kill Tywin. Tywin is alive at the end of Season 4. Daenerys eventually invades, but if Tywin is still running the country, does she beat Tywin?
No, not even close.
She has 3 dragons, though. What do you say to the dragons?
He would do it. He would figure it out. Tywin is too smart. Do you remember why Oberyn was a judge in the trial?
Yeah, because fucking phenomenal scene where he talks to him in the brothel and he's like, "Hey, listen, you and I hate each other, but I need you on my team because the wildlings are here and Stannis is here and all this other shit."
Yeah, and because I think he specifically said to him when the Targaryens, ruled the skies before dragons. I think that the
Cornish were the only people.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I think Tywin would have figured it out. The thing is that Cersei was just a horrible leader in every conceivable way. She was just bad. Every decision she made was like selfish and stupid, and she tried to like rule by fear and oppression, and she was just dumb. She was just stupid. Yeah.
I will say, so it was one of those things where I think finally the show got ahead of the books, because obviously none of this happened in the books, or at least has happened in them yet. But when she basically flipped the board at the end of Season 6, I remember thinking at the time, okay, that was fucking cool. She was checkmated. The High Sparrow had her checkmated. He had her son in his influence and all this other shit, and there was going to be a trial. And so she basically blows the thing up. But then I got thinking about it before the next season came, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a disaster because she basically killed the Pope, and there's going to be this populist uprising or whatever, revolt. And none of that happened. Like there was never any consequences to her basically hitting the reset button. And I think that was when I really thought that the show was never like it was so far removed from what it was, because can't speak for you, as cool as Battle of the Bastards was or Hard Home was, to me the political intrigue was really the best part of the show. And the flashy special effects that really wasn't it for me.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like that's anybody that watched it like knows that. Yeah.
Do you think there was any way to satisfactorily end the show, knowing that it was always heading towards apocalypse and ice zombies, and it was gonna move away from the intrigue and the palace shit?
Well, I think the issue is that George R.R. Martin is a guy that just writes, and then he just sees where everything goes. But the problem is it's hard to wrap things up in a satisfying way, I think, when you do story writing like that. So there was no way so who knows, like could D&D have ended that show in a satisfying way when George doesn't even know how to end it? I'm not sure. Who knows?
Yeah.
What would Tywin have done to the High Sparrow? Tywin would have never gambled so stupidly with putting somebody like that in power.
Somebody in chat asked that?
Yeah. Tywin, I think, was really good about recognizing the strengths of his adversaries instead of just like casting them all aside. Like he would fight multiple times about, I think he did for even Robb Stark, right? He created a whole plan. Like if Tywin would have died before Robb Stark would have won the war.
Yeah. He won every battle. That's precisely why the Red Wedding happened, is because Tywin tried to beat him conventionally in the field and it just didn't work. So he was like,
and he got him. He got him good.
See, now you guys are talking my language. What's up, Mr. Josiah? It's been a minute.
What's up, buddy?
No, Steven's right. Daenerys could never defeat Tywin because
she's a retard.
Tywin would make sure that Daenerys would never get to Westeros, because remember, he was setting up plans and motions to remove her counselors. I love the idea that Tywin was behind the Harpy movement to kill her advisors, because that's what happened to Barristan.
Wait, no, he was the one. He sent the letter. He got fucking Jorah exiled. I forgot about it because that's not in the books. That's not how it happens in the books. Steven, you remember that where he was responsible for Sir Friendzone being kicked out?
Sir Friendzone.
Yeah, what was that for again?
that?
I don't remember what for.
Jorah, Sir Friendzone was. You correct me if I'm wrong, Red, but he was an informant for Varys. In Daenerys' camp.
Wait. I don't know if Jorah gets kicked out so much that Jorah betrays them.
No, but he kept it on the DL. Like, nobody knew. And then Tywin, there was a small council meeting with Oberyn. And Varys is like, hey, listen, you guys need to worry about Daenerys. She's got these 3 dragons, and everyone's advising her now. And so then Tywin says, hey, can you get any of your spies into her city? And Varys is like, yeah, sure. And he goes, okay, give me my pen and paper. And he wrote a fucking letter basically giving Jorah the pardon and made sure it got to Daenerys. That's how Daenerys found out. She got a letter from Tywin, the pardon. Dude, I forgot. Oh, that's a good point, Red. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so Tywin would make sure that she would never be able to get to Westeros. And he would, the idea back when the seasons were airing was that Tywin was behind the Harpy movement. At one point in season 6, at the very first episode, Daenerys' entire fleet is set ablaze. People thought that Tywin was behind that or that he would have done something about that. Steven's right. She would have never gotten to Westeros. As for the dragons...
I will say just as a quick thing, I'm right in spirit. But in actuality, I would be wrong because Daenerys has, unfortunately, impenetrable plot armor. So she would have won through some complete and total. A 4th dragon would have spawned and killed fucking Tywin or some bullshit. But
Tywin would have been like, "You are my queen."
Sure,
I don't want it.
Tywin should have won, but some bullshit plot armor device maybe would have allowed Daenerys to win. But yeah, sorry. Okay.
Are either you boys checking out House of the Dragon, the prequel?
Yeah,
I watched 2 episodes and got bored.
Steven's committed. He's gonna watch the.
I'm not.
Both seasons after he watches Andor.
Oh god.
Oh dude, you haven't seen Andor yet? Holy
no, he
shit.
fucking hasn't.
I don't have time.
Oh my god, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. You can fit it into your schedule somewhere. Andor at least is like what Star Wars needs to be, man. It's so good.
It's
so
Star
good.
Wars, Game of Thrones, man.
It really is.
What is it with you? Why is it when people you at least like a little bit make a recommendation, you refuse to do it? I think it's because somebody recommended Dune to him and he hates Dune and he's like,
I don't hate Dune. Dune 1 was just horrendously overrated. Dune 2 was much better though.
Okay.
He did the same thing with Oppenheimer. He hates Oppenheimer.
That was just a dog shit movie. I'm sorry. That was just a horrible fuck movie. My God, what a terrible trash fucking movie. God, fuck, it's so bad.
I haven't seen. I can't opine about that.
Hold on. I gotta. Now that Pisco's here, trying to get my goat in chat. I wish I would have remembered this, or not remembered this. I wish I would have this guy. Okay, my other lawyer friend, my better lawyer friend. Okay, email me. I wish I had this on speed dial. Where was this? But just as a quick thing, somebody else emailed me a thing, and I don't have the abbreviation for it. They're called like Burks or some bullshit. It's like an abbreviation that stands for different crimes. If you are committing a crime, okay, 18 USC 924. If you are committing a crime, if you have a violent felony, if you have a firearm on you, okay, it's automatically bumped, okay? So penalties, Section C, except to the extent that a greater minimum sentence is otherwise provided by this subsection or by any other provisions of law, any person who, during and in relation to any crime of violence or drug trafficking crime, including a crime of violence or drug trafficking crime that provides for an enhanced punishment if committed by the use of a deadly or dangerous weapon or device, for which the person may be prosecuted in a court of the United States, uses or carries a firearm, or who, in furtherance of any such crime, possesses a firearm, shall, in addition to the punishment provided for such crime of violence or drug trafficking crime, be sentenced to a term, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, just having a gun on you for a violent crime on any of this shit is considered part of like an enhancement for a for any type of sentencing shit. The idea that you could go and commit a violent crime and then have a gun on you and say like, oh, I just had this for self-defense. I'm not like, is so beyond fucking retarded. God. Okay, sorry. That's totally unrelated. Anyway, fuck House of the Dragon. I watched 2 episodes. I was bored and I was done.
I mean, again, it's not the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones. But hang on, Squishy ECA, Tywin did not exile Jorah. No, Daenerys exiled Jorah because Tywin sent the royal pardon to Barristan Selmy, knowing that Selmy would take it to Daenerys That's how he did it, because Tywin was playing 4D chess. God damn it, I forgot about that. Listen, he really is just the best character. I would argue that Tywin Lannister is a better TV villain than even Gus Fring, and Gus Fring.
Ooh, that's high praise right there. Gus Fring is great.
You kind of say that, but just don't forget, okay? Also, please, okay, I implore you, okay? What you think of all the Game of Thrones characters is just not what they are, okay? Because remember, all of the characters that made it to the end of the show were much better in the beginning of the show, okay?
Yes, they were.
Jaime was a badass, okay? Everybody was so much cooler and so much better. So you have memories of how horrible these characters were. Tyrion was awesome. But remember, those memories were tarnished by their presence in the last 4 seasons, okay?
Hey, okay, Tyrion, just one second here. So do you all remember in season 8, I think it was when Winterfell was under siege by the White Walkers, and Tyrion takes the women and children to the crypt? Do you all remember that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so listen, so I failed to predict this, but I remember watching the premiere of that particular episode with some friends, and a buddy of mine was like, "That's really fucking stupid. He can raise the dead." And I'm like, "Well, there's got to be like, it has to be like the freshly dead or something. Like these things have been dead for like centuries or decades. There's no fucking way that otherwise Tyrion wouldn't be stupid enough to take them into the crypt." And I'll be goddamned if not 3 minutes later, like all of the dead started to be raised in the crypt.
To be fair, like they were buried in like hardened stone and or concrete, whatever the fuck. And you really think that like bone could tear through that? That was done for some tension. That was some bullshit. To be fair.
Yeah, and then as chat pointed out, even Peter Dinklage thought it was pretty stupid. I don't know. I think that Game of Thrones was always, there was no way to end it on a consistently high note, because I think it was inevitable that it would always turn to the apocalyptic good versus evil, dragons versus ice dragons thing, and that is so far removed from what made the show great. You guys got to remember that prior to, I think there was Blackwater in season 2, but prior to that, were there any big battle scenes in Game of Thrones?
No. This is something that you've been watching House of the Dragon season 2, right, Josiah?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is something that I've seen in the community a lot, and I've always rallied against it, is that people are lately calling House of the Dragon Season 2 boring, when there's more happening in House of the Dragon Season 2 than happened in Game of Thrones Season 2. And I keep having to remind people that originally Game of Thrones was always about 2 people in the same room talking and having like conversations. That was always, it was never about the snow zombies and dragons, you're right. And just, it's a lot of this new crop of fans who are just bored. They don't want to listen to 2 people talking, even though, in my opinion, episode 2 of season 2 of House of the Dragon was great. And I had to keep reminding people, back in season 2 of Game of Thrones, most of the characters were sitting around doing nothing. Jon Snow was walking around in like the snow waste, doing nothing. Daenerys was in Karth doing dick. Like nobody was, Robb was just winning battles off screen. Just nothing was really going down. Tyrion and Arya, I think, were the only main characters doing anything.
Yeah, but
then the secondary characters.
But it was also well written, and the characters were cool and likable. The thing that killed me the most, I think, for House of the Dragon, why I couldn't make it past episode 2 in season 1, it was just watching the small council meetings. Because like, if I were to explain like a small council meeting to like a person who's never seen Game of Thrones, honest to God, it sounds like the most boring shit in the world. Like the people, but like the small council scenes are some of the most memorable. And it's just, yeah, like you said, it's just people at a table talking about shit going on in the kingdom. But they were so good. There were so many memorable scenes between Ned and Robert Baratheon talking about killing the girl, and Robert screaming at him as he leaves the room.
Is pregnant.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, every single thing with Robert on screen. The Free Folk bot that like spams Robert Baratheon quotes in that subreddit was so good. Tywin facing off with Joffrey. The king is tired. Tywin having that conversation where Cersei thinks that Tyrion is fucked because Tywin is going to make Tyrion marry. He thinks that Tyrion having to marry Sansa is the end for him, and then he just brings up offhandedly, also, by the way, you're going to have to marry Sir Loras or whatever, and Cersei like loses. God. They're all so good. And then, but then in like, I feel like in House of Dragon, episode 2, I'm watching the small council meeting. Like, I don't give a fuck about any of this. I don't care about these people.
I just don't think they have memorable personalities. Like even Otto Hightower, who's like the hand of the king. He's I call him Diet Tywin. And the actor's good. It's like Rhys Ifans.
Rhys Ifans, yeah.
Okay, yeah. And so he's fine, but he's just like.
The problem with that show is that season 1 was the prologue. Season 2 is the chapter 1. Because I do agree with some of the criticisms that like season 1 was about preparing for war and all this conflict, and then season 2 is still preparing for war and all this conflict. But him in episode 2, Otto, when he's arguing with Aegon about like all the stuff about putting him on the throne and all that. That was so good. Episode 2 of season 2 of House of the Dragon was just so fucking good. It reminded me a lot of early Game of Thrones. Just people having conversations and being super interesting.
And that's exactly why Steven will love Andor when he watches it, which I know he will.
Okay, we'll see.
Come on, man.
All right.
Just so you know, season 2 of Andor is coming out 2025, Josiah. So
I know. I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about this with Steven the next time I see him because, of course, he's going to watch the whole thing. Are you and Pisco about to argue about politics?
I don't know.
Pisco, unmute, baby. Come on.
Talking all kinds of crap. All right?
Yeah.
Steven.
What's up?
What do you think you just proved with your little lawyer friend?
That you don't have to prove intent to use a firearm for
it to be a separate crime. That's not the argument. No one is saying that it couldn't be an independent crime. Even Rob grants you in that hypothetical for policy reasons, you might have, a particular crime with the possession of a gun be a separate offense. No one is disputing that. The question is, does carrying it, having it on your person while you're doing something else, equate to an intent to fire it?
No, hold on.
That is the argument.
No, that wasn't the argument. While doing 100%. Something else? No, that's why every example we talked about was while committing a crime. That was why I said if I had a gun while I was breaking into your house, or if they had a gun where you're going to break into a secured area.
Perfect. We can talk about that. So number one, you recognize, right? The statutes that he's talking about, you do not need to show an intent to fire that weapon in order for you to be guilty of that offense. Yes?
Yeah.
Or no? Okay. So then it is not this is not responsive to anything, because what Rob is saying, and I'm going to agree with you on a bunch of other stuff that you said, but what Rob is saying is you having a gun with you, going and committing another crime, is not the same as a premeditated intent to fire that weapon. And
it's going to be treated the same.
Whether it's treated the same or not, first of all, no, it wouldn't. If I go and break into your house with the intent to fire and kill somebody, you would agree that that would be murder, attempted murder, right?
Sure.
If I go into your house, but the prosecution cannot prove that I'm intending to use that gun to kill somebody, but they can prove that I had the gun, will you be able to make a crime of attempted murder? No.
We can go and look up the criminal statutes, but I'm pretty sure it would count as first degree. Doesn't the intent carry over for felony murder? If I go and commit a crime and I have the intention of breaking into your house, the intention of stealing your shit, and in the course of that crime, I kill you with a weapon, doesn't that count as felony murder, which is treated as first degree murder in a lot of states?
Listen, you need to start treating me with some respect. You need to put some goddamn respect.
Was what I just said right or wrong?
What you just said about felony murder is correct, but we're not talking about felony murder. Felony murder is a legal construct. It's a legal fiction.
No, hold on. Wrong. No, wrong. This is an amateurish opinion. The idea that, it's just in law, so it has no reality to the real world because it's just a legal thing. No, I think it makes sense because the idea that anybody's going to sit here and try to say, if you break into a house to, steal some shit and a guy shows up and you have a gun, it's not like you were intending to use it. That's a retard opinion, and the law accurately reflects that. If you break into somebody's house with a fucking gun and you kill them, that is premeditated murder because you're obviously going to get into a scuffle, and you're obviously not going to get your ass whipped. You're going to pull your gun out. You're going to fucking kill them.
I'm about to destroy your world.
Go ahead, destroy me. Go ahead.
You go to a convenience store. You have a fake gun. It's made of foam. It just looks real. It can never fire. It can never hurt anybody. You point it at the store owner and you say, "Give me all the money in the register." And you say that, and he has a heart attack and he dies. That's felony murder. Did you have an intent to fire that fake gun?
That might be no. Hold on.
Owned.
Okay. Do you think that's felony murder because you had a fake gun?
It's felony murder because in the commission of a deadly felony, a death was caused. You don't need to show intent to use a weapon, not use a weapon. It's a legal fiction that we're creating a malicious killing out of the commission of a deadly felony. That's a policy reason that is replacing the intent to kill or the malice in other kinds of murder.
Yes, because when you're committing violent crimes, right? The idea that if you're knowingly committing a crime, you have to show some intent to harm somebody or whatever is stupid, because it's assumed that if you're already going to commit a violent crime, whatever harm may come to the people involved is probably going to be baked into the intention of committing the crime. The idea it is not only legal fiction, it is a moral fiction.
No one cares about moral. We're not talking about moral.
Wait, are we talking about moral or legal? Which one are we talking about then?
We're talking about intent. All right. The question related to attempted murder, not felony murder. Felony murder is like a policy related legal construct where we don't have to worry about intent. That's the whole purpose of felony murder.
Well, hold on. Wait. When you say don't have to worry about intent, what do you mean there exactly?
You don't have to prove an intent to kill.
Correct.
For felony
yes,
murder.
But you do need to convict for the underlying felony.
Yeah, you need to show an intent for the underlying deadly felony.
Why though? Because
felony.
if you're willing to commit a deadly felony, right? It has to be a certain type. Like it can't be like a felony for some bullshit. There's an abbreviation for the types of felonies we're talking
dangerous
about.
felony
Right?
is usually
sure. You have to commit a felony, because if you already have the state of mind to commit that sort of violent crime and somebody dies, the intent is it's obvious, right? You're not going to try to prove like, well, he just wanted to rob and steal all of his shit and maybe beat him up, but he didn't actually intend to kill. Like that would be a fool's errand. Like you could never even prove.
What does it mean to say someone intended to shoot a gun, fire a gun? What does it mean to say they intended to fire it? It means I'm not going to
go ahead.
It means it's your purpose. It's your conscious object. It's the outcome that you want. Okay, that's what people mean, and that's usually what the law refers to when you say that was their intent. Okay,
yeah.
If something isn't your conscious object to achieve, then it's not your intent. Now we can have some questions about, well, I thought a good example that. It was actually crazy because Rob initially brought this up, and then you brought it up, and then Rob disagreed with you when you brought up the same example. So I think that was more of a show of bad faith from Rob in this particular context, because he has there's some kind of syndrome that people have, and you have it too in other cases. Oppositional something syndrome, where you have to be in opposition when a certain tone of just like right now. You have to be in opposition to my truth right now because I'm coming at you with a certain voice.
Right. Okay.
That's kind of like the syndrome you have. And Rob initially brought up the hypothetical, which was, if you do this kind of felony with the intent of getting resistance and you expect that resistance and then to kill him, I would say, yeah, you have an intent to use that weapon. Then you brought that up and agreed with that. And so what I'm not understanding is you can notice that distinction in the case of someone who is expecting resistance to happen and is planning to use the gun in response. Why don't you now distinguish between that case versus someone who is carrying the gun on the off chance, let's say, that violence occurs?
Because on the off chance of violence occurs implies that some other conscious agent is making the decision to engage in a violent act. Like, if you go and commit a violent crime, now you have made the decision to engage in violence. And if somebody else counters and now you escalated to kill them with a gun you have, that's different than you just carrying a gun in self-defense when you're not making the choice. When you're not making the choice to engage in violence. I would apply the same thing to if you're in a bar and some dude is talking shit, okay, and you want to punch him or whatever and, take the crime for assault, that's fine, whatever, do it, do the crime, do the time, whatever. But I think attacking that person while you're carrying a firearm, I think is a greater moral wrong, because now you're creating a violent situation where you have the ability.
I don't care about greater moral. You're not going to distract me. The question is intent.
Okay, when I carry a firearm in public, am I intending to shoot and kill somebody in a situation that I've created?
It depends on the circumstances and the context. Are you?
No. Hold on. If I carry a firearm in public, am I intending to kill somebody in self-defense in a situation that I create?
Only if you have the expectation that resistance will come. Fair?
But if I'm carrying the firearm, I wouldn't create that situation.
Hey, come on. Hey, if you are doing a crime with a gun in your holster, thinking and hoping and expecting 100%, no one's going to even attack me. No one's even going to stop me because they're going to be so scared of my Luger. Are you intending to fire that weapon? Yes or no?
If the answer isn't yes, you have a sliver of sunlight between what's there. I would say essentially yes.